Today's video was made possible by Squarespace. Hey guys, Jonathan here with TLD. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I am back with my long overdue unboxing and review of the iPhone 5C, or what it seems to be better known as the bastard child of Apple's iPhone lineup. Now I know you guys have seen a ton of iPhone 5C unboxings, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time there. But as far as that goes, unlike any iPhone that we've seen before, the iPhone 5C comes in packaging a la the iPod Touch with a hard plastic casing. It actually, come to think of it, that's not much of a box at all. We should probably call it an unpackaging. So anybody that's unboxed the iPhone 5C, including myself, is nothing but a big fat phony. Jokes aside, apart from the iPhone 5C, you get the literature, which includes the always awesome Apple stickers. I did get the unlocked T-Mobile version, which did include a SIM card tool. Not sure if that applies to all the other carrier versions. On top of that, you get the USB wall charger, a set of Apple EarPods, which are actually pretty decent for stock headphones, and lastly, you get the USB to Lightning cable to charge up your iPhone. So jumping over to the review side of things, this video is going to be a little different than my traditional phone review, simply because there's been a lot of mixed reactions and confusion regarding the iPhone 5C. Once we saw that it wasn't going to cost $300 off contract or free on contract, a lot of us were disappointed. I think a lot of that was unwarranted because we brought that upon ourselves, myself included. We really bought into the hype, the rumors, the speculation that Apple was going to release a cheap budget iPhone, when the fact of the matter is, Apple never intended, never speculated, nor did they release a cheap iPhone. Now with that said, I still don't agree with the pricing or the marketing of the iPhone 5C. What I would have done if I was Tim Cook is kill the iPhone 4S, get rid of that 3.5-inch display, get rid of that 30-pin connector. You of course have the iPhone 5S as your flagship phone, but as many of you guys are aware, Android has taken a huge bite out of the smartphone market. So what you do is, you make a bold move, you grab the smartphone market by the balls, regardless of how premium you think it is, Apple, you announce it for free on contract, and I think that move would have done really well for them in terms of the actual stock market and also sales for the iPhone 5C. Now the good news is, because iPhone 5C sales have been less than stellar in the US at least, some retailers have already begun dropping pricing, so Target, Best Buy, and Walmart, I believe, are all currently selling the iPhone 5C for around $50 on contract, which isn't too bad of a deal. Now, mini rant aside, getting back to the actual iPhone 5C, it is essentially an iPhone 5 in a polycarbonate shell that comes in 5 colors: yellow, blue, pink, white, and green. Out of those colors, I would say my favorite out of the bunch is blue, with white being the runner-up. Now, I actually thought the yellow iPhone 5C was going to be one of my favorites, but after seeing it in person, it was a little bland, a little plain, almost kind of banana creamish, if I had to describe it. And I wish it was more along the lines of a yellow Lumia 1020, where it was more vibrant and stood out a little more. I was pretty much neutral on the pink and green models, but at the very least, thumbs up if you guys appreciate me getting my hands on every single color for you guys to check out. Now, after using the iPhone 5C, contrary to it being plastic or polycarbonate, whatever you want to call it, it is actually extremely well built. The coating is really slick, it doesn't feel slippery compared to the Galaxy S4, for example, and I'm not comparing the phone or knocking it by any means, because that was actually my daily driver for most of the year, but in terms of the actual back coating, something about the Galaxy series, aside obviously from the Note 3, has a really grimy, slippery, kind of almost greasy feel, whereas the iPhone 5C is really comfortable and is one of the most comfortable phones that I've held this year. I'd actually even go as far as saying it's more comfortable to hold than the iPhone 5S, and that, alongside the Moto X with a little dimple in the back, are actually probably ergonomically two of the most comfortable phones that I've held in 2013. So like I was talking about, the iPhone 5C is essentially an iPhone 5 in a different housing. So you're gonna get the same A6 processor, the same 4-inch 1136 by 640 display, which while isn't up to the standards of something like the Galaxy S4, HTC One, or Galaxy Note 3, is still a fantastic looking screen, and if you're into that 4-inch form factor, it's still a solid option. Now, because Apple optimizes their software so well, that A6 chip is going to have no problems playing the latest games. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as the iPhone 5S, but in terms of everyday use and snappiness, you're not going to notice a huge difference between the two. The iPhone 5C also features LTE, so like I talked about, I picked up an unlocked T-Mobile version, actually popped in my AT&T SIM card, and as you guys can see, got some pretty outstanding LTE speeds. Now, as far as the camera goes, you get an 8-megapixel shooter on the back, same as the iPhone 5, which was one of my favorite smartphone cameras of 2012, and actually was still even better than a lot of the cameras on 2013 smartphones. Now, it's not going to do as well in low light performance as the iPhone 5S, for example, or feature burst mode, but as you can see, it still does a fantastic job, and you can get some really solid pictures out of the iPhone 5C. You of course also do get a 1.2 megapixel 720p FaceTime HD camera on the front. Nothing is really new there. So overall, you guys can see the iPhone 5C really isn't as bad as a lot of people had made it out to be. It's a pretty solid phone, and if you can pick it up for 50 bucks, like I've said, they are going on sale in the US at least, then it's a pretty solid option if you don't want to spend the money on the iPhone 5S. Now, between the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C, I would choose the iPhone 5S. There's more for me that I like, but I can see where it does have its merit. If you are looking for a cheaper, lower cost phone for your kid, you don't have to worry about smacking Jimmy in the head because he broke his shiny new iPhone, then the iPhone 5C is a pretty solid option. If you own an iPhone 5, there is absolutely no good reason in anyone's right mind to go from a 5 to a 5C. Just don't do it. Now, if you've used iOS 7 and you're not a fan, which I can understand, and you possibly want to look into trying out Android, I think a good option to start out with would be the Moto X by Motorola. That's kind of like the gateway phone transitioning from iOS to Android. It's a really solid option. Now, if you're looking for an even bigger screen, I would probably recommend checking out the HTC One in terms of jumping from Apple to Android. The build quality is absolutely phenomenal. The speakers are awesome. And it's a really solid choice in terms of smartphones. And there's actually some really competitive pricing and deals going on that, which will be linked down below. Aside from that, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did and you are feeling like being awesome, make sure to hit that like button. It is much appreciated. Also, if you guys enjoy the content that I put out, like this video, make sure to show some love to Squarespace for making this video possible. Now, if you guys have been looking to set up your own website or tech blog, for example, Squarespace is probably the simplest and easiest way to do that. They have over 20 killer looking templates where you literally just drag and drop your content in. You can also tweak it if you like. It is optimized automatically to look good, and it doesn't matter if it's your desktop, tablet, or smartphone. They feature awesome 24/7 support based out of New York City, and pricing starts out at just $8 a month with a free domain if you sign up for a year. So again, if you guys have been looking to start your own website or tech blog, this is an extremely easy and powerful way to do that. You can also get a killer deal and support the channel at the same time by using the offer code TLD10 at checkout. That'll get you a free trial, no credit card required, and 10% off your entire order if you use it and decide to keep it. That will all be linked down below. So again, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys have any questions on the iPhone 5C, the 5S, or just tech in general, definitely drop me a line down below. But the absolute best way to get a hold of me is on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Those are all linked down below, along with the gear I use to make these videos. Again, this is Jonathan with TLD, and if you missed my iPhone 5S review, at the very least, it is worth watching for these slow motion bloopers. That is linked right here or down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Now, if you've used and you're not a fan of iOS 7, which I can understand, that is Big Mac Hallen. There he goes again. My voice is kind of shot. It's a lot of talking. There goes Melody. Will you guys please be quiet? And quiet. Nope. Come on, man. Damn. What are you howling at? And silence. Nope, I think he's here.